their bodies, the
Yeah.
needles and stuff. They're not going to do none of that. I mean,
Uh,
so and those are like early 30s, and it seems to be that there's a lot more of them. I'm actually surprised. It's a good thing because we need more people online that are younger that can put the word out to their
Something just happened to your internet. Okay, we've lost Sandy, and you guys have just missed out on a hour-long conversation we just had because I wasn't live.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I was just telling the audience that they just missed out on about half hour, I don't know, hour conversation because we were live and we weren't live.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, we are now though. My bad.
Seriously. Oh my God.
Oh
The universe
God.
just didn't want that conversation out there.
Okay, we'll do a recap. We'll do a small recap. Um, so what Sandy and I were speaking about was take it away, Sandy.
Okay.
Short and sweet.
I'm never short and sweet.
That was a joke. But yeah, it's fine. Take your time. So we were talking about, actually we could actually start on something else as well, and then like circle back. But I want to touch bases on the ICRA.
Oh, the Ichor,
ICRA, yeah, yeah,
Ichor. We
yeah.
still need to ask Sing how to pronounce that correctly. It might not even be right.
You're close, no, because I heard it the other day, and I've been hearing it in
Interesting.
multiple places,
Uh-huh.
and I knew what it was because of the conversation that I'd had with you about it, and how just go ahead and elaborate and expand on it, and tell
Oh,
people what it is
it's the golden fluids,
and what's the
and
golden fluid.
it's relevant to like the liquid that runs through your spine. That's actually like that's the Kundalini rising that they are talking about with the energies.
Once a month, is that what we're talking about? It renews once a month, and you raise it to the pineal gland, and it turns into a gas.
It's a fluid, yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah. Okay. I didn't
And
know that that's
so
what it was called.
um yeah, because there's other names for it. And you can actually like pump it in the way that you do these certain like breathing, like I think it's belly breathing exercise. I've tried it before
Right.
because
Yeah, because
it's
you got to breathe into your gut, not your lungs.
right.
Right. Like
Um,
like the Buddha.
exactly.
That's
I
what the Buddha.
actually like breathing like that. Don't you remember like when you watched babies sleep, they would breathe quickly and their bellies, it was like we have learned to breathe wrong. So weird.
We breathe
I mean,
shallow.
I'm all like, really? Um, Even our breathing is wrong.
Yeah, we breathe. Yeah, I've learned that we breathe too shallow. That we don't get enough oxygen to our brain to properly run the biomechanical machine.
Well, the interesting part is in cultures around the world, which is why they're healthier than we are, they teach this energy work to their children.
Really, I never knew that. I kind of feel like I'm in fucking China
That's what I'm saying.
or Korea, actually, for that
um,
matter. Yeah,
they teach the chi,
yeah. The biofield,
the energy, the
right? The
breathing.
biofield.
And then, they can go to I've been using like mid 90s was acupuncturist. And, what else have I done? Like just different weird energy stuff. And then I just did a lot of research on my own,
Right.
like trying to read up on different, all the cures and,
Well, holistic healing's probably where it's at. Um, because everything that pharmakia does,
mm-hmm.
they get from plants. And so if you get the Sugerics, is that, if, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Sugerics is a holistic approach to healing and medicating, self medicating. And it shows you what the plants are and how to harness and process what is needed for holistic healing. And then then you got the metaphysics part of healing as well, which through energy crystals, which are alive, uh, and there's a
Well,
crystal for
what
everything.
there for sure is, but people don't recognize when it comes to crystals.
Well, because they're ignorant about it, and
Well,
until recently, for the past 7 years, I knew nothing about them. And
right.
my ex girlfriend, she tried to tell me about this shit 7 years ago, and I was still a sleepwalker, and I thought she was crazy, and come to find out, fuck, I was the crazy one. Yeah, that's story.
Well, I love my crystals. I have all kinds of crystals, and I
Yeah,
collect
even
quartz
though,
like
even
crazy.
yeah, even so, I'm looking at probably 50 of them right now, and
Right?
I don't charge them, and I need to do that.
Well,
Uh,
and sometimes like I had, oh my God, I must have had a load of like probably at least 30
yeah,
in my house. Like, and I mean, I had them everywhere. Like,
I've got them here in my bedroom, and
well, no,
I
they were
learned
in
that you
my
don't want them in
purse.
here.
You don't, they were in my jackets. There was like bowls of them. And I took all of them
Yeah,
and put them in a big grocery bag
yeah.
and went to that empty field, pulled over to the side and dumped them all out. And I was just like, I'm done. Because they will collect negative energy. I had uh,
Not
uh,
all of them.
selenite clears that, but it's like they're there for a time. And I just gave them back to the earth. I am literally in the process of collecting. I probably have like 10 or 15 right now.
I've got some
It's
pyramids.
I do too. I have an agate, which is really ugly, and they dyed it this really cool hot pink, like fuchsia
Huh.
color, and it's all like it's like bled into the tip of it, and it looks like a pyramid. It's really cool. If they didn't color it, I don't think it would be that great.
Right.
Comes in all kinds of colors. I think it comes from Brazil. I don't, if I can remember. And it's ugly. It's like hematite. It's not pretty either. I have one that
The
looks,
hematite's, and it's black, right?
well, mine looks like a turd.
All
It's like a big turd.
right, we got. Let's see.
My sister is the one
Hey,
that
what's
gave
up,
it to
Axis?
me. So,
Welcome.
hello.
So I was gonna say something about the Chris. Hematite is what I w- wore on my ring finger. Yeah, it was a ring that, isn't that the one that collects the negative energy?
I don't remember what that one does.
And then what's the other one? Shungite. What's that good for?
EMF. I have a
Okay.
necklace that one of my girlfriends, she does jewelry, and I was telling her that was that. It was that was that one girl I was telling you about that a friend of mine that kind of I really helped her on her journey to wake up like 5 years ago. And she's really gone off the rails. Well, she made jewelry at the time, and so she ends up I'm telling her about shungite at the time, and I'm like, it's this Russian, I was like, you should really get some. And so she orders some, and she made me a freaking necklace. And she added it. It was like this shungite powder because I was like, you can get the powder.
What I want to do is I want to. I know I already checked in on it. I want to make a first one's going to be a copper pyramid, um,
Uh-huh.
large enough
Yeah.
to sit inside. But the one that I really want is the quartz crystal pyramid.
How do you
Yeah,
do that? How do you do that?
I'm going to build it.
What do you use as the base? Wood?
I'm going
What
to
do
have
you
to.
do?
No, it's going to be a complete fucking crystal. I'm going to fucking carve it, cut it. However, got to do it. I don't know. I've never cut crystal.
We were out, um,
So okay, real quick, I'm gonna expand on it because
are
uh,
you gonna make it like an igloo?
I'm gonna make it like a pyramid
I don't know how you would do that.
because you usually just you step
Freestanding?
right in it, huh?
I know, but what are you gonna glue it on a frame?
I don't know. See, I've seen one. Fools has got one that she can show us if she shows up. I'm sure she'll probably pop in, and so I'll ask her to share that. She's uh she's got a wrench, so she can share it.
That would be really cool because I need to like
So
be able to
so
visualize what
so
that looks like.
okay. So it resonates a frequency.
It's life force.
And there she is. Hey fools, you mind sharing that crystal pyramid?
Her ears must have been ringing. We
did,
called you and you picked
did
up
you
the
hear? Yeah,
phone.
did you hear me talking about you? That's crazy. Was you already listening? She got 2 videos, she says. And no, she wasn't listening. She seen that I was on, but wasn't listening. Yeah, so I was like talking about that pyramid, and I'm going to build one out of copper. But I told her the one I really want to do is the one out of crystal.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just said your name. Okay, you should be able to share them. Uh, how the fuck do I give you a wrench, Sandy? Let me figure this out. All right, here you go.
Okay, that was so weird.
What happened? What happened?
Well, it started beeping
You heard
and
John?
it took me, but I didn't do anything. It just went to StreamYard, like on the
Right.
backside, like I was trying to log in.
Really? Did
And
maybe you
then
hit the back button?
I didn't touch it.
Oh, okay. No,
I
just asking.
touched it after I was like, what is going on? Anyway,
How do we sound, guys? Are we low or mic sound okay?
are we are we good?
Yeah, I think so. Look,
Okay, so crystals. Um,
okay.
What else were we going to talk about?
We're talking about crystals and Ikra and the excuse me, the um the fake rapture and the aliens and
Oh, yeah. Well, we weren't really talking about fake rapture, but I actually, I did a little dig, which I found a little intriguing. There is a verse in, what's it, First Thessalonians 4:12, I believe. It's right there. It's the verse that talks about two are going to be in the field and like the Lord's going to come or something. It's
yeah.
basically like the only verse that people point to. I think there might be one or two others, but that's the main one where they're like, this is why there's going to be a rapture. Because the two are going to be in the field and then they're not going to, like, there's going to be one's there and one's gone.
um, how do I play this?
That I don't know.
What? All right.
Do you just click on it?
I don't know.
What happens if I? There has to be something somewhere like, because on Zoom it'll be like share to where you can put up something.
All right. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay.
Well, I went to this huge crystal
Here we go.
warehouse. Did
Yeah.
it get to work?
Yeah. I'm listening.
And when I went in there, okay, this was like a gemstone heaven, like all the stones. There was like almost 2 aisles, and this place was gigantic. I was in
Okay.
there for almost 3 hours. Did you get it to work?
I think I'm on the right path.
And they had giant like amethyst that was shaped like a butterfly. I
Uh
mean, it was so gorgeous. And then they had an entire aisle that was nothing but selenite. And all these different shapes and sizes for selenite. And I was like, I'll take one of those. I'll take one of those.
huh.
And, I walked around that whole store. I was in there close to 3 hours because I was like going back and forth. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to get this or if I want to get that. But I got some really cool stuff. And they even had, I took a picture of it, the phalluses. But there was like a whole bunch of, and I wasn't expecting them, right? And I was like, oh my gosh. But they were all the the pink quartz that like, or no, the rose quartz. And I was like, wow, these are really pretty.
Wow.
I was like, wow, they're all these different sizes, but you'll see it like the tarot readers will have them, and there's energy relevant to it. I mean, that's I think we all worship the phallus.
No, we all don't.
It's like
You
the
women
first,
might.
yeah.
You and them misogynistic homos do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you guys, that's like the first thing that you grab hold of when you're born. Give me a break.
Yeah, well, that's fact.
That's your number. That's your number one. Did you figure it out yet?
That's what I'm doing. I'm sitting here laughing. Says the dynamic camera grid. A dynamic camera grid is automatically adjust to the number of people. Okay, that ain't it. Does anybody know how to share a link to where I can play it.
It's not
Do you know,
either.
Access? Do you know, Fools? She says she's got 3 videos she sent me. 2.
It's 11:01.
Yeah, it's 101 here.
111. 111.
Number 1.
111. Oh my gosh, I saw this thing today. Pub, um, the health publication,
Hmm.
they did an entire study and found scientifically in like our genetic code or like our DNA strands or something
Okay.
that the angel numbers, they found that there are repeating numbers like the
Okay.
angel numbers within our DNA. And
What?
I'm
What?
like, of course there are. I'm like, whatever's inside is outside. Whatever we see outside is inside.
I don't. I don't. I mean, who's calling them angel numbers?
That's just what like they were I'm pretty sure it was in the article,
Yeah.
but they were saying that it's like it's relevant to something, but I don't, I'd have to really do a dig. I think it's just,
It doesn't matter. I was just curious.
yeah, we live in a mathematical construct. I mean, everything
Sure.
is math at
Well,
its basis.
yeah, everything's an illusion.
So it makes things fun. That's where I'm at. You just got to have fun with it.
Sometimes that's hard to do.
I get that. I live on I live here too.
You live in, not on. We're in it,
Well, we could
in the
just
world, not of the
we
world,
we
or
could,
not on the
yeah.
world. If you can even call it a world, I don't think you can
I think it's
technically.
like maybe it's just saying that we're old.
Right. Well, we're
So
definitely old.
people talk about like, oh, I'm this age, I'm that age. I'm like, we're all the same age. It doesn't like I'm as old as the universe. And if I am, then so are you. Even though you don't know it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of us,
I
you know,
I
are thousands of years old. I mean, who knows?
well, apparently, I mean, we're like infinity, so
Yeah, I subscribe to that.
mhm. And we don't die. We just transition, whatever
Right.
that, just like we're transitioning all the time as we're here, because things change, things grow, just things change. The perpetual state of now, forward planning. Did you figure it out?
No, I give up. I give up. I'm just gonna have to send you the link in the stream or something. Um, reading the chat. Okay, he just told me. Access just told me. He's put it in Rand on. Okay.
Woohoo! We both learned something
All
new
right.
today.
All right. There's the one from Queensland first. And oh, okay. Brand. I don't want to do that. Mhm. Okay. Okay. Let me try this again. Okay. Uh, yeah. Try this again. Okay, let me copy the other chat. Copy this. Okay. Now, media slot. Okay, there's media slot. Wait. Oh, man. All right. All right. Okay. Save it layout. All right. Now, go to brand plus. No, I don't do that. Intro video. Okay. That's yeah, I can't figure it out.
Well, you just have to practice and figure it out, and then
Yeah, I
look
got
on.
an
You're
idea.
gonna have to go to a video on YouTube to find out how you do it.
That's sad. He said put in brand and on. Okay, or put it in brand on StreamYard.
At any rate, okay, so we were talking about aliens.
I'm working on it. You go ahead and take over.
Okay. We were talking about aliens, and we were talking about the Bible in that verse. So I did a dig on it, and I like to go and look at the original translations to see what it originally meant. And there was a word in there. It was called, I think it was curio. It started with
Mhm.
a K, and it meant like a lord, but not the same way that we know of lord. And then it also said something else. I'd have to go back and look at the whole thing, but basically, I was using the translation to redo the verse, and I was like, this is like they're gonna come and get you. And at that point when I had put those things together, I was like, this sounds more like, because at the time, remember what I was talking to you about, how they're saying that, the aliens are going to come and there's going to be ships and like you need to get in them and leave. Okay, well,
Yeah.
where are you going to go? Number one, because this place is probably at the point that would actually transpire. I mean, wouldn't that just be like, what, they're going to go put you in the ocean and live in the underground pods like the other people that may be clueless? Like there was that one movie.
Hmm.
Oh God, what was it called? And they were they were clones, but they didn't know it. And then but they were told you can never leave here. Like this is like you have to stay here. But then they would go and have like, oh, your number has been called, and so you get to go on some vacation or something. And um, they ended up leaving the facility and getting out because they saw what was going on. And what it is they were the clones of like rich people.
Hmm.
And then they would kill them because anytime these people would leave, they would never come back.
Right.
And so they started to get like curious about what was going on. And when they got out into the real world, it was like this world, like the one that we live in, right? Where they were in this like safe environment that, but they were cloned. Well, they ended up finding out who they were clones of. And then there was this guy that like helped him or whatever. But it could be kind of like that. Like, I don't want to get in no ship and end up in a weird place like where, no, no. But I was like, that's how they could like blame a disappearance of a large group of people. Oh, the aliens came and got them. And that may still be the case.
Right.
And maybe it's just that the system went delete,
Possible. Very possible.
or maybe we're the ones that get deleted to get out of here before the shit hits the fan. I don't know. I mean, do we want to be here for that? I mean, I kind of would like, would be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, well. Uh I think that the the alien thing's probably gonna happen sooner than later.
I think there's going to be it's a distraction. I'm not saying that there isn't any sort of like other intelligent beings because I do believe that source energy would create like other forms.
Well,
Do you know
you
what I'm
don't
saying?
yeah, and I think
And
you're in the ocean.
even if that is the case, then I could see um then that would mean that they are our brothers and sisters.
Well,
Now,
if you
but
look
that does not mean that they are nice because there's plenty of people out there that
no,
know their brothers and sisters aren't nice.
right, well check this out. Uh, They've even proven that say for instance, let's talk about what we do know about, okay? Let's talk fact. We have learned that uh an octopus is I mean, they've proven that it in fact is more than likely that it's alien to this planet or realm or whatever the fuck you want to call it, because of what it's capable of doing, mimicking its surroundings. Same thing with the a lizard can do the same thing.
Right. Well, but that is part of what's happening in nature though. So like the octopus is just this weird amalgamation of all sorts of other pieces of genetic material that is present in other animals. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And then at the same time, there's the stories of like Lemuria and all this. And I'm like, where did this story even come from, first off?
I'm not familiar with what you're speaking about. I know about Lemuria and New Lemuria, uh, and Old Lemuria, but never heard about the octopus connection.
Well, what I'm saying is that they say, oh, there was like another planet or a different like dimension or something where these aquatic animals came from, right? Because then you bring into like the alien piece of that, and then you've got like the cat aliens, the blue aliens, the, more like water type alien. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And so, uh, and if we think any of that, then that means that it can be true, right?
right.
And like I just said, there could be millions of different races because Source expands. Source prefers to create. And what if we just look at this whole entire situation literally as like a simulation that we're going to be getting out of here? And, but we have all these trials and tribulations that we have to get through, like playing the fucking Hunger Games. Like, if you haven't seen that movie or if you haven't seen it for a long time, go back and watch it.
I haven't seen it for a long time. Why? Is it? I mean, am I going to see
Because it
something new?
basically because it's well, but it's basically showing you like what we live in, but on a micro scale. Because they put them inside a dome, right? I
Mm,
like that color. You got to keep that.
all right.
Um, and they there's like the controllers that are at the top that have a
Mm-hmm.
computer, and they are inserting this trouble here and this crazy animal. But obviously, I mean, their intent is to try to kill them, right? Because it's like a game or whatever.
Right.
But
I like that one.
what if you take that concept and expand it to this place that we're in on a personal, and that's how you see your screen, Sing likes to talk about the screen,
Okay.
and that's everything that's outside of you that you're looking at. That's your screen. Well, you know what? You can change the channel.
Interesting.
And if you look close enough, you can see that it's a screen.
Mm,
Like you're looking in a TV. Remember when it has like all those little tiny dots?
yeah.
Well, when we look out, that's what we see. If you do that like weird double vision or you stare a certain way, you can see you can see it. You can also see little tiny like almost like sparkles of light that are like dancing, and I that's energy, right? That's like bouncing about. You can harness that energy
Mm.
because
Uh,
I've done it, and you pull it into your view and then you bring it in. It's a trip. I don't know what you call it. I
um,
but
Fool said that the sky's a project big screen projector.
yeah, isn't that what the job of the sun and the moon is?
Yeah, and she says you got to put your widescreen wipers on.
That's classic. I love it.
And then I mean, she says, "I wish you could see the chat. I
I
hate that."
can. Let me see. No, I can see it. I can go
No,
there.
all right.
Let me see.
He said, fucking,
Jesus AI alien.
yeah, well, because it's conscious. Yeah, she's talking about Jesus.
Yeah, and it's just like the lucky ticket, and they go on a lottery ticket and they use their parts as organs.
Wow, is that
I don't
the
know
Hunger
that
Games?
I don't know that I don't think that's the same movie. There's probably more than one. I mean, it amazes me. They're like, "Oh, we're redoing this movie." I'm like, "You've redone this movie like
Well, that's
four
because
times."
there's no creativity anymore.
Well, it's because they're all locked up in a vault somewhere because those stories are the true stories of humanity, and they don't want to get those ones out.
Yeah, well,
And maybe they're too positive or something.
maybe it's Tyrone's clone. Maybe they're all Tyrone's clone.
No, yeah,
Oh,
Isaiah.
but I was gonna expand on that earlier when we were talking about the other beings, and uh, I mean, just from what I'm understanding, because I've heard different things, and uh, but I mean, there's different beings here. I mean, there has to be, okay, and I say that because
I have
go
a
ahead.
family member that's seen Shapeshifter right in front of her.
Yeah, and I believe that's what the hierarchy are. But anyway, so there's those, and I'm not talking about them people, them whatever you want to call them.
Right.
But the others um, have they have I don't know if I don't want to say reincarnated, but they
Yeah, because we
because
live
they
everything all at the same time.
right they don't do what we do, so they have to copy themselves. And when they do this, I guess they can't use the energy like we do. So that's why they have to have our energy, because their life force is weak. You know what I
No,
mean?
I get that. And oh, you know what just
They're like the
popped in my
Sith or some shit.
do you want to know what just popped in my head? Oh my
What?
God, as you were talking about that. What if the 8 billion includes however many people are underground?
Wow. I don't. I mean, that would kind of add, kind of make the census or the clock or whatever, calculator, whatever you called it, make more sense.
The world death clock, and that
Yeah, the
it's
world death clock. Thank you.
56 million people die every year supposedly, but it's a clock, and so it's based on an algorithm and a calculation
It's fucking death.
that
Where you
this
find that at?
it's on the internet.
You just punch up death clock.
I punched I punched in world death clock, and I think it's the Medenia or something like that. Because there's multiples of them. I just like that one.
What?
That's it's like the second one that pops up. And
I never even
so
heard of
it's
it.
what, 106 people per minute. Well, this is worldwide. This is not America. America is somewhere between, so I think it was less than 2 million. So it was either 1.8 or 1.9, or like in the middle somewhere.
And I mean, and even that number there for the United States, that's an awful large number.
But here's the deal. Remember, supposedly we got a whole bunch of boomers. And I said recently, somebody said something, I just went, well,
We're not
that's because
boomers.
I said, oh, well, that's because there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are going to die.
We're X, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm Gen X.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I'm talking about like the older boomers, like the ones that are in the 80s and 90s. Like there's going to be a whole slew of them that go because they're not here for that show. Like they're freaking done.
Yeah,
And they are too programmed in the
you're right.
system.
You're right.
They're too programmed. So it's kind of weird that they had at the time, right, out of World War II, what did it do? It created a massive baby boom. And so we
Hmm.
have an extra large number of
But why?
boomers because it goes to 1965
That's my brother.
or 1962, 63, like
Hmm.
because
That's my brother.
they said there's like a 3-year period where they're not really boomers and they're not really Gen X.
Hmm.
And that's like the 60 to 63 or 64, or it's like 62 to I don't know.
Okay.
At any rate, like it's weird when you look at World War II, and as a result you have this explosion of births, right? Everybody's having
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 kids, right? Because you just killed off a whole bunch of people. So it's almost like it was part of the program.
Right.
Like it was designed to do that because you needed that amount of population. Because what did they do? They built everything here. That group of people built our country. Because by the time we showed up, it was basically already like good. Like everything was winding really good. Like it was pretty squeaky. And then there was like this 80s crazy consumer. Check it out. You can get a credit card.
Right. Plastic.
Buy, 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 buy. And massive propaganda on the TV.
Then file for bankruptcy.
Right? Oh my God.
Yeah, they had a big problem. The problem with plastic is this: that you do not
We
have
should have used
the
hemp.
concept of the money that you're spending, because it's like it's not real, and that was by design, to make you lose track of your funds.
Oh, absolutely. And what do we have today? oh, the economy's doing great. Yeah, we have
Hmm.
like this ridiculously high, like trillion or 2 trillion
All it is
in credit card debt.
a land grab.
Yeah.
They want your land. They don't want your house. You can take the house with you. They want the land because when you own a house, you own the house, but you don't own the land.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which is like against the rules.
It is against the rules because it's not their fucking land to sell.
No, they don't own it. They never did.
No. So it's where the intimate domain plays part. So anybody with a strong arm can take possession of that land.
Meaning the
Survival.
one with the
So,
deepest pockets.
well, now meaning the one uh, that's stronger than the other.
Yeah, deepest pockets.
Right. Well, that's what it amounts to, unless you're Wild Earth in the bush. So yeah. And then
Well,
like
there's a huge land grab trying to be done right now because they want to put these transmission power lines in,
yeah.
and they go right across Missouri.
Well,
Like, and it's going to be going across. I think it's being taken to Indiana, actually.
it doesn't surprise me because
Eh,
they're burying these new cables, these new Skynet cables.
Well, here's the thing. You talk about the ether, right?
Hmm.
And it was around and talked about into the early 20s, I think,
Right.
of the 1900s. And then it just like kind of disappeared, right?
Hmm.
So, you have, I mean, because I am the worst when it comes to electricity. I just don't get it. I've
I hate it.
studied it. I've studied it. I just like the concept goes beyond me. I get plumbing. I understand all kinds of other stuff mechanically. And for some reason, I just have this weird block with electricity. Maybe it's like my intuition being like, I call bullshit.
Well, L,
And
L and electric, it all goes together.
well, if you look at those big transmissions, I call them like, Satan towers or,
Well,
because
exactly. You're
it
you're you're
looks it
dead. You're
looks
dead
like
on.
it
You're
looks
spot
like
on, man.
well, they look like Baphomets
Well,
when
that's
you look at them.
how those entities travel.
Right. So, but I was thinking, I'm like, with these big, huge transmission lines like this, what is the possibility that they're actually pulling the energy from the ether?
They probably are. You see, they like to claim they're getting them from turbines or what. They've proven that those wind turbines are fucking as useless as a tit on a bull. And what energy they do produce is very small.
It's tiny. And you know what? It is so ugly. I drive past Palm Springs
Hmm.
and it is just a windmill. Like I had taken my students out and we did a tour because we were doing this thing on like science and like renewable energies, and I was like, and we did like this tour. We didn't just do that. Like we went and looked at this rock quarry, and we went out to this really cool park that had this awesome like streams. Like it was beautiful. And but we went to those and they are gigantic. And then the sad part is you go by and they're not on, right? And then they just have the big huge arms like broken and they're just sitting on the ground. Like I think it's just such a failed attempt, and they've got houses that are built like right near there because the winds that go through that's like a little tunnel could
Right.
be like 70, 90 mile an hour winds, like just these crazy winds. But they put these houses in, and uh, one of the people that bought a house there asked the superintendents on the jobs, does it get windy here? Are you kidding me? You don't put windmills where it doesn't get windy. But if you think about it, isn't that whole thing just a huge illusion? Like, it's like, oh, look, we're going to put up these gigantic windmills. It's going to make everything look really ugly. But look, it right there. We're saving the planet, you know?
What about the fucking the goddamn uh them fucking one things, the solar
Solar
panels.
panels.
Yes, solar panels. Them are even worse.
Well, they're going to have a hard time if there's no sun.
Right. Why they
And here's,
block out the sun.
well, yeah. And the other part of that is like during the winter time, if the sun, if it's like real cloudy and maybe you have like a week of rain or something, you don't get barely any charge.
Mm-mm.
So it's, and so I had a friend that worked on the solar panels they were right on the side of the freeway, the main
Mhm.
highway, and they have these humongous solar farms, is what they call them, and it's these, I believe it's these cheap Chinese solar panels, and they're just these gigantic farms. They probably are the ones that own them, honestly. And what he said was, is he goes, these things are going to stop working, and they only have a shelf life of like I think maybe 20 years. He goes, and then they're going to be useless.
Mm.
How you saving the planet doing that?
Right, exactly.
And what if by using those solar panels like that, I mean, because California is covered in them, Arizona is covered in them. There's probably a few other states if it's hot, probably maybe back. I don't know. You guys have solar panels?
Yeah, shit ton of
Mm-hmm. So what if those solar panels are heating up things?
them. That's a interesting comment.
I don't know. I always come up with weird shit. It just
But it makes
pops in
sense.
my head.
It,
I
it,
mean, it's like one of those things you're just talking about, all of a sudden you go, wait a minute. This is what happens after way too many years of learning stuff. Comes to a point where
man.
you can just figure stuff out in like 30 seconds, 10 seconds that you just didn't think about before.
Hmm.
I mean, what if it's manipulating some kind of energy? Because when do they do anything that's good for us?
Never.
Even under the guise of, and if that's particular, even under the guise, and then, the whole thing is hooked into your electricity. And they are super over expensive, and they don't work all the time. Ours hasn't worked in like 3 months. Got $500 fucking electric bills in the middle of goddamn summer when it's 120 degrees. And I'm like, it's not working. So we call it up. No, it looks like it's running fine, right? Because they got some fucked up computer that monitors our shit. And so if it's
Right.
not working, then they'll
And then they
call
send it.
us.
They send the computer out of, or the fucking energy out of state though from here.
Oh, they have this is so
They
funny.
send it to
Fucking,
Michigan.
fucking California.
Wow.
They close their nuclear power plant, right? Oh, we gotta close this thing. We gotta get rid of it. So they closed two of them, but one of them I think was leaking. The other one down towards San Diego, that shouldn't have been a problem, but it was going to cost too much money to upkeep it.
Right.
So I actually do think there's probably something positive about that. But at the same time, anyway, So there's a nuclear power plant out here. They
Oh
are
joy.
currently running power lines that I've watched them build because they're out in the desert as well. They run across the desert because we will take like Power Line Road. Hello. And because it goes for miles and it's well graded because they have to drive on it to meet the power line. So anyway, they're hooking it up between the solar panels that are these big farms and then the power plant, and they're running transmission lines to where? Oh yeah, California.
That's crazy.
So no, we can't have it here, but we're still gonna use it. And they fake fucking electric outages constantly in that state. It's so ridiculous. And
So
they're overcharging electricity by an enormous amount. Now they're going after gas. And then I mean they want everybody to have electric cars, but they don't
so
have
they
the
can
power.
shut them down. That's
Yeah,
why.
so yeah, it's a total
Well, and
control.
not only that though,
I don't think it's going to happen. I honestly, I
there's
don't.
not well, everybody's not wealthy for one, but I
Oh,
mean,
well, no, it's called Trump is coming in and all of the electrical vehicles. I mean, they're pushing them right now. The advertisement is out as
here's
far
the thing
as
though.
they're they're
Once it
they're
hold on, Sandy.
they're shutting it down.
Once it comes out that the EMF from the fucking cars are killing you, you're not going to buy them.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't talk about the EMF that comes out of those cars running. Okay, I guess the number that it puts out is insane. So while they're driving the car around, it's killing their two things is happening. It's killing your energetic body and it's killing the vessel. So double banger, 2 for 1, baby. See ya. So go get you an electric car and you be as quiet as you are running around while I have my fucking piece of shit gas hog. And
Well,
yeah,
you're basically you've plugged yourself into an electric plug.
yeah, yeah. So it's just fucking the insanity of the whole electric car thing. Uh, and it's not nothing new. Okay, we've all seen the videos. Uh,
From the
of
early late
yes,
1800s, early 1900s
yes,
of them.
yes,
Yeah, they were
absolutely.
doing electrical stuff.
Not only that, they had a electric wheel that spun. It was one big wheel, and it spun. It was fucking insane looking. And I'm like, that's what I want. But
Right.
yeah, man. Then here recently, I seen a guy built one with a motor. You know, interesting. I'd like to have one of them. But yeah, the whole electric car thing. I think that there's no way that they could get the number of
It
amount
just
of.
can't. And they can't even make that many. That's the thing too. So
Well,
it's
here's
like,
it. They don't have enough chargers to charge the motherfuckers.
no, they do not have. And yet, when you go on the highways, here's the funny part. When you cross the border, first exit, the gas price is like, I don't know, $1 cheaper. It's going to be $2 cheaper here come January.
So what's it cost to charge an electric car?
I I I want to say because one of my friends had it, and I was just like, "This is so dumb. You can only go like 350 miles or some shit." I'm like, "That's not kosher for me at all." Because if you're somewhere that does not have a charger, but they have like these little mini charger stations,
Let's
right?
talk about the power grid going out.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to bring that
I
into
mean,
my
where are you going to get
field.
power then?
You're not. And that's
Okay.
part of the point of all of it. It's like, it's so dumb. Because, at some point in this story that we're living, the lights are going to go out.
Yeah, they went out here the other night for quite some time, all over the city, and it was interesting. It was kind of like it was a test run.
I wouldn't think too much into it.
I look out the window. I'm like, God damn, man, and it was just black as far as I
Black.
could see.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably doing some like covert shit somewhere. They don't want anybody to see
Who
it.
who knows? I mean, the fuckery is there's no limit. I mean,
Or
because that we
or
just manifest their bullshit anyway.
or some dumb shit fucking did something stupid or fell asleep and something, I don't know, they
Well,
weren't watching
it's
it.
always a motherfucker hit a
Transformer.
transformer. How many times we hear that bullshit? Well, where's this transformer at? I didn't hear nobody hit wreck. I ain't even heard no sirens.
That actually happened multiple times in old house. Our electricity would go out. I'd be calling them, and they're like, there was an accident. And it would be
Oh,
weird because, like, there wouldn't be electricity at our house. And obviously, I get there's like grids or whatever.
uh
And I'd be like, well, I guess we have to go out to eat, you know? So you just drive
huh.
down the road and there's electricity, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that pissed
So,
everybody off.
well, I didn't have to cook dinner, so that made me happy. What else were we talking about?
Oh, I don't know. We'll probably better start winding it down.
Yeah, because it's going to be late.
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock in the morning almost, and I got to go to work in the morning. So, but
How's everybody? Where do our thoughts come from? Where do
the
the
ether.
ideas in our brain come from? Well, our thoughts aren't in our brain. Our thoughts are outside. It's our consciousness.
Yeah,
Who inspires the person? I love the way you think. That's the way I think. It's so weird. One big something that's nothing.
hmm.
I totally get it.
So um, I'll try to send you those. Hey,
Yeah, I want to see those.
yeah, send me those on Messenger, will you, fools, please? And I'll forward them to Sandy. Why my my screen keeps shutting off?
Oh yeah. Maybe you just don't have enough juice.
No, I've got 98%. I got it plugged in. But have still yet to use my laptop that I bought for streaming. You know, I also got this big mic with the sound card and stuff. I just don't know how to hook it up.
That's what
If it's
YouTube's
got
for.
anything, yeah, if it's got anything to do with the guitar, I'm cool. This other
You
stuff,
know what? This is just you've already figured it out, so it's all good. That's how you forward plan in the now. It's already done.
yeah, yeah. But anything you like to say to the audience before we wrap it up?
Well, it's been a pleasure as always. Lots of good laughs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When we're talking about
And
this crazy fucking realm we're existing in, yeah,
right? Yeah.
you can't do
Well,
nothing but laugh. You know what I
you
mean?
know, when you get to that point where you just don't let shit bother you,
Because you know,
it's just a wonderful thing. And all you can do is you just look at it and go, really? And you just laugh. You just laugh. You can't even take anything seriously anymore. It's who made the rule that I have to take shit seriously? Why is it like some faux pas that I can't just think everything's funny?
hmm yeah. I mean,
Just because I'm like done. I just see through the illusion of it all to where it's not even necessary for me to take it seriously. And the only reason I would is because you're telling me that I have to do that when I actually don't.
not when I'm defiant anyway,
Yeah, me too.
just because how I am. But it's like, you know, being a little kid and hey,
Uh-huh.
don't touch that. And as
Yeah.
soon as you look
Nope.
away, you're gonna touch that motherfucker.
I got spanked in the hardware store because I touched the light bulb and I dropped it. And
Oh fuck.
it's probably because I was told, now don't you touch anything. And then that got me all like nervous out, right? So
Yeah.
then when I went to touch the light bulb, I was like, I don't know, upset. I mean, it was almost like that's what you get because you like created that. Because I would
Hmm.
have 99% likely, I probably would have been just fine
Mm,
if you would have just allowed for that curiosity or whatever, you know,
sure. Yeah.
instead of making it like, don't do that.
Yeah, like a cardinal sin or some shit. You know, being born into a world of sin, you know, we do things like that.
Well, Sin was the name of a goddess. So
Hmm. Imagine that.
the Chaldeans.
Hmm. All right. Well,
So we can
everybody
leave
that
it on that.
yep, everybody that came, thank you, and everybody's going to listen to this tomorrow or whenever. Thanks for viewing it or whatever, and we'll
Yeah,
do it again.
have a beautiful night. We'll
Yeah,
chat soon.
I'll stream again Wednesday, and I'll hopefully maybe you can join too, Sandy, and
Well,
whoever
and
else
I'll,
wants to join.
yeah, I would see if my manifester.
Oh yeah.
So, okay. Ciao. Talk to you later.
All right, so I'm back, and I guess let me end this. I was having some issues. For some odd reason, I booted myself off. But again, thank you guys for coming, and Access Fools, much love, and anybody else that catches the stream, I'm gonna try to do it again Wednesday. So much love, take care, and find your truth and speak it. You know, let everybody know your truth and treat people the way you want to be treated, because that's what it's about. Because we never know who we're dealing with, and you never know what somebody's going through either. We live in a realm of suffering uh, by design, um, but we don't have to play a part in that. You don't delete the programming, rewrite it, rewire your brain, and manifest your reality as you are the director in your movie, not these motherfuckers. Okay, when we're manifesting their bullshit. They've tricked us for a long time. The jig's up. These fuckers ought to be running for the hills, and we ought to be trying to run them down, and not let off the fucking the gas pedal. You know what I mean? We need to run these motherfuckers out of town, so to speak. But anyway, much love, and again, everybody, thanks for coming, and hopefully see you guys Wednesday. Bye.